Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Avery and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the books I plan to unhaul. So this video I've kind of been toying with the idea of doing or filming for a while because I have a limited amount of space and quite a few books that I just don't feel like I want taking up space on my shelves anymore. Whether it be just because I've lost interest and I haven't read them, or I have read them and I just didn't really care for them, or I don't think I'm going to ever reread them. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. So without further ado, let's get started. The first book I have to share with you guys is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Now this book I bought in an airport when I was flying home from London because I wanted something to read on that 9+ hour flight to get home. So I decided that this looked good and I read like the first 50 pages or so. And I just don't have the desire to pick it up again at this point in time. I know a lot of people really like this, and it has like, it's a book of the year for, yeah, British Book Awards, book of the year. But I don't know, I don't know. I didn't really mesh with this, but I only read the first 50 pages. So maybe I'll pick this up again in the future, but right now I just don't see myself doing that. So yeah. So I don't know the details of what exactly this book is about. I know it follows a girl named Eleanor who has a very organized life. Like, she wears the same clothes, she does the same thing, she has a routine that she sticks to. And I didn't really know much about this when I bought this in the London store. I just knew several people who really liked it. So I was like, I'm gonna pick this up. But just to give you kind of like what the back says, it says, or the line that I think explains probably this book well. I don't know, I haven't read the whole thing. But it says, Eleanor Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. So I think this book is about like loneliness and trying to, you know, break out of a routine and try some new things to add some spice to your life. I don't know. I've only read 50 pages, but yeah, I don't see myself reading this anytime soon. The next book I have on this list is Come Back to Me by Mila Gray. This book follows Jessa and Kit as they kind of navigate their feelings for each other, even though Kit is technically off limits to Jessa because he is the best friend to her brother, essentially. Normally, this would be something that would be right up my alley because I love forbidden romance, friends to lovers, things like that. But I don't know, I just didn't really connect to the characters all that much. I thought the plot and the idea of it was good. I liked the premise of it, but it fell a little flat for me, and I just don't really see myself ever reading this again. And honestly, I kind of forgot a lot of that happened in this book. This is a trend that you'll see throughout this video. I usually remember things in books, even though this is a romance, but I just didn't, and it fell kind of flat for me from what I remember of it. I remember one specific event, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it because it'll give away a big plot point in this. But yeah, wasn't my favorite thing ever. It was alright, but it's taking up space on my contemporary shelf, so I'm going to go give it to someone who might enjoy it a little bit better than me. The next book I have on this list is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. Now, this book was recommended to me by several people in my life. One being my friend who never reads, someone who does read, and several other people who are like, hey, have you seen this book? I think you'll really like it. However, I didn't. I really didn't. This book just felt very cliche to me, and maybe it's because I read romance quite often, and I know that there's a level of cliche that happens in books, especially romances, but this one just felt like something I would have enjoyed when I was younger, but not so much as the 21-year-old who has read quite a bit in her lifetime. But yeah, I got a good chunk of the way through. I didn't realize I had a bookmark still in this until, you know, I got it off the shelf again. I got to page 265 and decided to put it down. Did not finish it, but only because I could predict exactly what had happened in this book. I just felt the story to be very predictable and not in a good way, because romances are gonna have some level of predictability to them because it is predominantly a romance. But it was so cliche that I just didn't want to finish it. I've seen this story like 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times, And I just had no desire to push myself to finish it because I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I just didn't care to spend my time reading the last 150 pages. So yeah, I'm going to give this to someone who will like it a lot better than me. The next book I have to share with you guys is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. So, this book I actually did quite enjoy from what I remember. It's also very short, but it has a lot of the things that I just find myself enjoying in books. One, she's traveling to London. She meets a boy in an airport, and he's British. British. I have a thing for the British accent. I flipping love it. And I remember liking this book, although I did forget everything that happened in it, hence why I'm giving it away. This book follows Hadley as she is flying to London for her father's marriage. Now, she misses her flight and ends up being stuck on a plane with this boy she had just met who is British and also flying to London. And they have kind of like a meet cute in an airport, and I liked it, I think. Like, I remember enjoying this. I think I read it really quickly because A, it's short, and B, it's about a British boy and it's a romance and it takes place mostly in London. So, I did like this book. I just don't think I'll ever read it again, and I'm gonna spread the British love. Yeah. So yeah, I liked it, just don't think I'll ever read it again, and it's taking up space on my shelf. The next book I have is something that my roommate in college actually gave to me because her teacher was giving it away, and she knew that I had been watching Gilmore Girls, but that book is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I actually haven't read this. I think I read like a solid 10 pages of it and then just never finished it. I like Gilmore Girls. I haven't finished it yet. I'm nowhere near finishing. I've seen a few episodes, but I'm not like a hardcore Gilmore Girls fan, so I just never finished it. Also, this type of book isn't really my thing, not gonna lie. But yeah, hopefully someone will pick this up who really enjoys Lauren Graham or is a huge Gilmore Girls fan and will enjoy this a lot. Because she's funny, she really is, but I just never finished it. The next book I have to share with you guys is The Glittering Court by Richelle Mead. This book is a veteran on my shelf, has been there for years. I loved Richelle Mead's Vampire Academy books, but I just never got around to reading this, and I've just kind of lost interest in it. I think this book follows Adelaide, who has to attend the Glittering Court to escape an arranged marriage that she doesn't want to happen. So I think it has a lot of court intrigue and things like that. So if you like something like that, maybe pick this up, but for me, I've kind of lost interest in it, and I don't see myself ever really picking it up. There are tons of other books on my shelf that I would rather read. So I'm just going to give this away to someone who is really excited for it, because I'm sure it's going to be great. I love Mr. Richelle Mead's writing. I just don't see myself ever picking this up in the future. Maybe I'll change my mind. Who knows? But as of right now, I'm going to give this to a better home. The next book I have to share with you guys is one that I'm not entirely sure if I want to give away or not, or unhaul or not. I'm really on the fence about it because it sounds good, but I'm also unsure. But that book is The Warrior Era by Cinda Chima. Now, a lot of people love this author, love all of her books. I've never read anything by her, and I picked this up, and it's like a magical realism where, you know, these people live among us and there's a lot happening. Obviously, I don't know much about it. Never read it. I bought this years ago and it's still on my shelf. Also, this is really heavy for a paperback. I'm not gonna lie. But like, I'm intrigued by it, but also I'm nervous I'm not gonna like it, and also not that interested. I'm conflicted. But if you think I should keep this or give it away, let me know your thoughts on this book, because I really don't know if I should get rid of this or not. Please help me. The next book I have for you guys is also one that several of you are probably going to be like, no, you have to read it. But it's been on my shelf for forever, and I know Natasha Polis from Tasha Polis's YouTube channel is going to be like, oh. Like if she saw this, her heart would break, because this is a book she talks about quite often, and the author as well. But despite that, the book that I'm talking about is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. So, this book is a sci-fi. I like sci-fi. I have several books that I've read that are sci-fi. It's not my favorite genre, but I do enjoy it. But I don't know what it is about this. I just couldn't get into it. Like, I got several chapters into it and I lost interest. maybe I should give it like a little bit more of a chance, but as of right now, I just don't ever see myself picking this up. But also, this is one where if you think I should read it, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Non-spoilery thoughts, by the way, of any of the books on this list, because most of them I haven't read. The next book I have to share with you guys is something that was pretty popular a couple years ago in the booktube realm, if I'm not mistaken, but that book is Snow Like Ashes by Sara Rusch. So, like a lot of these books, this book has been on my shelf for forever, or what feels like forever, and I've just never gotten around to it. I've kind of forgotten what it's about, despite the fact that I did just, you know, read the little synopsis on the back, but I just don't see myself ever reading this in the future, so I'm just gonna give it a new home, and hopefully someone will really like it. That is the goal. The next book I have on this list of unhauled books is Roar by Carmack. I bought this book from Book Outlet because it looks like something that would be very interesting, and I was intrigued by the whole storm catcher premise thing and getting the storm's power if you can catch it. But I read like a couple chapters of this, and I just didn't really mesh well with the writing style or the characters. It just felt very juvenile to me. That sounds terrible. Oh my gosh. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just didn't mesh well with this, and I'm gonna give it to someone who will enjoy it probably a lot more than I will. So the next 3 books on this list are part of a series that is very long at this point, and that I don't think I will ever read, despite the fact that I've tried to read the first book multiple times and just put it down. I don't know why. I really don't. But those books are Falling Kingdoms, Rebel Spring, and Gathering Darkness, all by Morgan Rhodes. I know a lot of people who really like these books, but I just feel intimidated by the size of the series now. And I've tried to read this first book like multiple times, and every single time I either picked up something else and completely forgot I was reading it, or I just put it down because I wasn't interested. It makes me really sad because I was really excited for these books. I've just been struggling with some of these books that have been on my list for a while, and I just don't see myself ever getting to these, especially since the series is so long now. The next 2 and last 2 books on this list are ones that a lot of people either really love or don't like all that much. And those books are Red Queen and King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. Yes, I know, Glass Sword isn't in here. I realize that, but I loaned that book to a friend and never got it back, and it has now been almost 3 years since I graduated. Yeah, 3 years since I graduated, and I gave it to them at the end of my senior year, and we still had several months. Never got it back. It's been 3 years, but you know, it's fine, because honestly, I don't think I'll ever finish the series. I read the first 2. I liked Red Queen okay, enough to read the next book, but then I read Glass Sword and I lost a little bit of interest, and then I bought King's Cage and just never read it. I think the idea of this book is so amazing, but it just fell a little flat for me, and I'm really upset about it because I really wanted to love it. And I did love the first one quite a bit, but I think it was just because my reading tastes have changed as the books were coming out, so I just kind of lost interest. But yeah, so I'm going to pass these on to someone who will very much enjoy them. And that is the end of this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there are any books on this list that you either agree with me unhauling or disagree, politely disagree, and would like to see me attempt to read, maybe I will do that in like a vlog in the future. But yeah, just let me know. Also, let me know if you would like to see these books be posted on like a Depop thing, if you would be interested in purchasing any of them. Also might donate them to the Ed McKay, these bookstore in my town, or the library. Who knows? But, or maybe I'll just spread them out and share the love a little bit. But yeah, so that is it for this video. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!